So you had said that you'd stumbled across something, and it's really piqued my cherry or whatever.
It's really popped your cherry. So for years, up until very recently, you were adamant that you weren't going to own a home. You were a renter for life. You were against home ownership.
And it stayed that way.
All right, perfect. I didn't know if you were changing your stance or not, but there's a law in Illinois that it's waiting on the governor's approval or whatever. It's been already, you know what I mean? Through all the Senate and House and all that horse. But it's called the Landlord Retaliation Act.
Oh, wait, I should be excited about this. Tell me more.
As far as I know, you're not a landlord. So apparently in Illinois, they think that there's a huge problem with people asking for their apartment or house or rental to be repaired, and then the landlord jacking up the rent. Are you familiar with that at all?
No. Okay. I've never experienced that or heard of it.
Okay. So apparently people will ask for like repairs or normal stuff that a landlord would need to do to their house or apartment. And then the landlord would either jack up their rent or fail to renew the lease or sometimes cancel the lease. So in Illinois, they're changing this. They're making this law where if you are a landlord and someone files a complaint, not even a complaint, they ask for a repair that would fall under your duties to repair as a landlord. Once that happens, are you being invaded?
I think so.
Oh boy.
All right. Landlord Retaliation Act.
Landlord Retaliation. So if you ask your landlord to fix something in your apartment or house or whatever, and they fix it or whatever, for a year after that, they are not allowed legally to raise your rent or cancel your lease or not extend your lease or anything that would come off as retaliation. They are presumed that if they raise your rent within a year of that happening, that's presumed retaliation. So
they're doing a disservice to renters by putting this through.
Why?
Because landlords are going to raise their rent prematurely to cover any potential costs.
So not
prematurely.
Yeah. Don't you think that if you're a landlord or a tenant, every year all you have to do is just say, hey, my sink broke or whatever, like now you can't raise my rent for a year, and then in 11 months something else breaks, and so
again, same thing.
Yeah. So you, as a landlord, now the law is locking you into renting this house forever because you can't cancel the lease and you can't raise the rent. So if somebody wants to just live in your house forever.
So there's, if you sign a year lease.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say I'm the landlord, you're the tenant.
Yeah.
You sign a year lease and that lease is for whatever, $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
And then the furnace goes out. So I pay to repair the furnace.
Yeah.
When the lease ends, I don't have to let you renew.
Are you sure about that?
100%. Yeah. That's why it's a lease. It's a year-long or 2-year-long agreement between two parties.
That's what I'm trying to tell you is with this new law, it is retaliation if you don't renew the lease.
I don't believe you. I'm fact checking you right now.
Why would I lie about that?
I don't think you lie. I think that you skimmed over an article or heard it on a podcast.
I skimmed over a podcast.
Landlord retaliation. Tallywhacker? Retaliation, Illinois. All right. The Landlord Retaliation Act will prohibit landlords from knowingly terminating or refusing to renew a lease, increasing rent, decreasing service, or threatening a lawsuit after tenants seek assistance to ensure their housing is safe and habitable.
Habitable? Habitable?
Protected actions by the tenant include making a request for repair. And this is stupid. Like, there's no.
It says something about joining a union. Have you ever heard of a tenants union?
That's all I fucking need now. There's no such thing as a tenants union.
That's what I thought. I had never heard of such a thing.
The organization of tenant unions are the building blocks to our trans-social, statewide, and international movement.
What?
Currently, tenant unions have fought off rent increases, evictions, and displacement in California and around the country without rent control and just cause eviction laws in place. What
does any of that mean?
No, okay. So unions, the whole purpose of them is to get a group of people together that all fight for the same cause.
Uh-huh.
And it's like all for one and one for all, like the Three Musketeers.
Right.
So
Right.
The thing that we as a union have over you as the employer is that if we really don't like what you're doing, we're going to walk, and now you're fucked.
Yeah.
What is a tenants union? We're all going to move out if you evict this person?
We're all going to be homeless if you evict this person. What possible leverage could they have? I don't know. I had never heard of a tenant. I didn't even know that was a real thing. I heard of it just from this stupid law.
Alongside general unions, such as the farmers union, there were a number of unions that expressly and solely advocated for the tenant farmer. That's not right.
No, nope.
The organization of tenant unions are the building blocks that they only have one paragraph.
So it really doesn't even exist.
Oh, they got a website, Tenants Together.
Oh, no. Should we join?
What is a tenants union? Tenants unions are building, neighborhood, or city-based organizations made up of and led by renters themselves to fight for our collective interests and rights.
Collective interests. What collective interests do we have?
My only interest is that the landlord does not come in the house if I'm not here. That's it. That's the only thing I care about. I don't care what shape the house is in. I don't care I don't care what you say about the grass length. I don't care about any of that. Just stay out of this fucking house when I'm renting it.
Isn't that the law anyways?
That doesn't mean they abide by it.
Can't you have them arrested for trespassing?
Mm-mm.
Really? I thought you could. Did you try?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
No, I moved out.
Can you shoot them if they come in your house?
Not after the fact, not after you find out about it.
Go to their house and shoot them for coming in your house? Huh. That's
neighborhood and city-based tenant unions are networks of tenants who often have similar issues and stand in solidarity with each other, but may live in different buildings or have different landlords. You think they have those rattlesnake will strike if we have two shirts?
Yes, I sure hope so. So lame.
Their goal is to build a movement of millions that is powerful enough to win rent control for all and tenant and community control of our housing and land.
Tenant control of our housing and land. So then wouldn't that make the tenants the landlords, you dumb fucks?
I didn't say tenant control. I said rent control for all tenant and community control of our housing and land.
So it's just a communist thing then.
I don't understand. I honestly don't understand the mindset of why landlords are bad. I think that they provide a service.
Of course they do. I understand the mindset, and I've tried to explain it to you. It's literally communism. That's why they think it's bad, because you shouldn't own.
No. I understand what you're saying and what you're about to explain to me. I don't understand a young person's mindset who says, eat landlords or however they complain about them.
Yeah.
I don't understand. They don't say, I hate landlords because I'm pro-communism.
No, their mindset is that they think that anybody who owns a building and rents it to somebody else is ultra wealthy. Like, these are rich people and I hate rich people. That's their mind. That's literally as deep as it goes. And they shouldn't own anything, because them owning a building means that other people are homeless because they won't rent it to them for free. They're stupid.
Okay, yeah. So it's really just they have no idea how things work.
Yes, of course.
Oh, well, I can get behind that.
They're really, really stupid. To blame high cost of housing on landlords is just a retarded thought. It just means you're not able to follow any sort of chain of events at all.
But I did have breakfast.
Exactly. That is exactly right. If you can't put two and two together that like they own this house, that means all the costs associated with it they have to pay.
No, not only that, they also need to make money because it's a business.
Yes, exactly.
So, okay, so now I understand. Now I can take their side in the argument.
Okay, perfect.
Housing is a fundamental right to be a human.
How?
I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead, but you just have to go with that.
Oh, is it a civil right?
No, it is a God-given right.
Oh,
Right. As long as God is a homeowner and he wants to keep it up to code.
Yeah. God said you need to keep your house up to code.
Okay, do you think that food, clothing, and shelter is a human right?
No.
Oh, all right.
Not
Okay,
at all.
moving on.
Do you?
Yes,
Why?
because I care about the people.
How is it that, okay, when you say something is a right, and now if I say this is a right, and in order for me to get this right, somebody has to do something, right? That makes somebody a slave somewhere.
Yeah, black people. I don't care.
How can my rights be dependent on forcing someone else to do something? That's not the way it works.
I've never looked at it like that. But you're wrong.
It's the same reason they say healthcare is a right. It's not. So you're telling me that if every single person, I know this isn't going to happen, but if every single person decided, I don't want to be a doctor, so then we didn't have any doctors. Now, how is healthcare a right? We don't have any doctors. How is it? How does that work? You can't force.
Okay,
rights.
so then what are human rights?
No idea. I really have no fucking clue what that means. I don't know what it means to have a right to do something.
Well, it's just
because rights are
according to you, human rights are air, grass, dirt, and water. Not drinking water, just water.
Just the water that comes from the sky. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I never really thought much past, like, you can't force somebody into giving you rights. That doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, according to Google, there are 5 basic human rights.
Okay.
The right to life.
Okay.
Liberty.
Okay.
Freedom from slavery and torture.
Okay.
Freedom of opinion and expression.
Okay.
And the right to work and educate. Nope, I read that wrong because I'm stupid. The right to work and education.
How is education a right? How can...
Doesn't mean that you have to go to public school that somebody else has to pay for. You just have a right to get an education, even if you have to teach yourself because you're stupid and poor.
And poor.
The poor should have to teach themselves.
Right. I think that makes sense to me.
Okay. So, yeah, landlords are fine.
Yeah.